Y'all knew when y'all subscribed to this podcast. You already knew what you was getting into, man. I know it's been a while. It has been a long time, and I know it's been a long time. Even when my mom, she got on me about the podcast the other day. So that's when I was like, oof, yikes. I gotta tighten up. So we are back. We back. I appreciate y'all that have listened to the podcast, that have rated the podcast. Make sure you rate the podcast, like on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you use to listen to it. Make sure you rate the podcast so we can really get it out there. I know I gotta work on my consistency. That was my thing with this. That's why I told y'all, if y'all listen to episode 1, listen to episode 1. If this is your first episode listening to it, please listen to episode 1, because I explained in there that we, just to make a long story less long, but we had an opportunity to do the podcast with some other people and with some with a former player from the Ravens, but I had to tell him no. I wanted to do it, but at the same time I didn't want to do it because one of the commitment, because my schedule, things happen, man. Things happen. And I did not want to be stuck to, okay, you got to do the podcast every single week, every single time, this week, and with the same. I was like, nah, that's just, not that I couldn't, but I just rather roll solo if that's the case. And then, two, what happens if it gets jumping? What happens if it takes off or something? Then that would be the company's podcast. It wouldn't be mine. So I could be putting in a lot of work for them, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they would be the ones to get most of the benefits. And I mean, there could be some little cool networking opportunities or whatever too, but I could just do my own thing for that, man. But it's all good, man. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, this is why, man. I think the last time we did the podcast, it feels like it's been like a month. I know it hasn't been that long. It's approaching that territory though. It's getting real close to being a month, and I don't want to be one of them people. For anybody that subscribed to the YouTube or subscribe to the podcast on however you listen to it, which I appreciate. I don't want to be one of them people that just they show up and then boom, they disappear. And that has happened. Oh, shout out to everybody subscribed on the YouTube, though. We reached 400 subscribers. Right now, we have 414 subscribers, so that's pretty cool, man. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, last podcast was October 30th. So it's been almost a month. It's been about, 20 days? Something like that. I'm not doing the exact math. But anyway, just a quick little update. Just a life update. I mean, we don't have anything different going on in our lives or anything like that. Everything's going good, man. Everything is going pretty good. Family's doing good. My wife, she's doing really good. She just got a promotion at her job, so I'm happy for her about that, man. Cause she's very she's very good. She's a very good worker. That's one thing that has always been the case with her. She has always been a very, very, very good worker. Any job that we actually met at a job back in 2010 or 2011. Cause we got married in 2012. We dated for 6 months, and it's crazy because with my wife, I just knew. Some people ask, they're like, how do you know when that's the one? How do you know? With my wife, I knew. I told my homeboy, man, she's just different, man. I told my boy, she is different. I think this is it. Because I never forget that conversation that I had with my boy before when I was getting ready to propose to her, when I was thinking about it. And I was at work, and I stepped out for a little minute to talk to one of my boys, man. And I still talk to him to this day. But I stepped out of work to talk to him, and I was like, man, this girl, she's different, man. She is just different. And we dated for 6 months and got engaged. We got engaged after dating for 6 months. Then 6 months later, we got married. And the rest was history, man. Cause when you know, man, straight up. When you know, and with her, I knew. She was real deal. and like I said, just different from anybody that I had ever dated before, but different in a good way. Because before, I know in a lot of previous relationships that I had been in, like it was just my thinking on relationships and what I had been through and what I had experienced. I was just used to so much drama. I was used to so much drama, and when I was dating my wife, like I wasn't getting any of that. There wasn't the drama. There weren't all the antics. There wasn't any of the craziness that I had been through before, and I was like, whoa, is this normal? But she's great, man. She's great. She's a great wife, great mom, great person. Like I said, great worker. And she, like, through her work, she displays a lot of her great qualities, man. So shout out to her. And she's definitely patient. She's patient, especially after dealing with the person who I was before. Done a lot of changing over the years, man. And we all are always working on ourselves. But I gotta give a huge shout out to her. Super supportive, man. I tell y'all that all the time. Whenever I talk about it, that is one of the biggest things with her for me, is her support. She's supportive like crazy, man. Like straight, like if fellas or ladies, fellas, if you got a lady that really like supports you, or ladies, you got a fella that really supports you, like that can go a super long way. Like it is crazy how far it goes. Like if they like really genuinely support you and support what you, as long as you ain't doing the wrong thing, if they genuinely support you and they rock with you, that makes everything that much better. Like it really does, and it makes such a big difference in everything and anything that you do. It'll make such a big difference. Because say for instance, if you're doing something, even if you love it, if you love what you do, you enjoy what you do, but your significant other, they just whatever about it. I mean, you can still keep doing it because you love it. But if you're doing something that you love and you enjoy and and they support it, that makes you love it that much more. And then they start to love it. And then they can help you fix things. They can help you get better at things like this and that, and whatever it is that you're doing that you love. So it just makes the experience that much better. And that's why, again, I love her, and I love when she gives me tough love. Because even when it comes to like anything, especially at work, like she'll be like, oh yeah, I wasn't really feeling that. Oh no, I like when you did this. That was okay, but it could have been better. Oh yeah, that was really good. So I love, and I appreciate this from really anybody, just straight up honesty. I love honesty. Now with me, I gotta work on tact, because I'm a very honest person. I'm a very blunt, straightforward person. But I just gotta work on, I told y'all, we always working on ourselves, man. But I have to work on just my delivery. Sometimes my delivery to people can be a bit rough. Well, for them, not for me, because I'll be like, hey, I'm just letting you know what it is. But not everybody likes that. So I've been working on that for literally forever now. So we getting there though, man. We getting there piece by piece. But yeah, huge shout out to her. And again, I'm proud of her, man. I'm proud of her, who she is, how she is, who she's become, and just I'm super proud of her. Carter, y'all know Carter, crazy as usual. But no, Carter's doing pretty good, man. He is doing pretty good. He's 5. He'll be 6 in summertime, but he's 5, and just really over the past couple of months, just his listening, it's gotten a lot better. I've been finding myself yelling a lot less, having to discipline him a lot less, and that's great for me, because it makes stuff a little less stressful. But no, he's doing good, man. I'm proud of him. He's doing good with his school. He just had a little test evaluation yesterday. I'm recording this, by the way, on November 19th, but he had a little test evaluation yesterday where, and they did it a couple of months ago, just checking to see what letters that he knew, and if he knew like different punctuation marks, and like they ask him letters A through Z. And I love how they do it, because they don't put the letters in order. Because if you ask a kid like, oh, what letter is this, and it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's in order, then they can easily guess that. But I like how they scramble the letters. So I think that's a smarter way of doing it, to really see if the kid understands what letters they are. So he got them all right, except for V, for lowercase v. He called it a Y. And I think I told my wife, I said, I think that's because of how he writes. Because some of his letters, like the destination, when he's writing the letters, he gets to where he needs to go in the end. But his way of getting there can be different for some of those letters. And when he writes his letters wise, oh, sometimes I'm like, oh, Carter, what are you doing? What are you writing? But I let him finish, and then it ends up being a Y. And I'm like, oh, okay, there it goes. But I think maybe because that V, maybe he thought that, okay, well, that's how I usually write my Y's in the beginning, and then he puts the little line at the end. I don't know, but he got that one wrong. He got the rest of them right, all uppercase and lowercase. And then, they were asking him about his punctuation marks, and she had a period on the screen, and she was like, oh, Carter, what's that? And he was like, oh, that looks like a dot. And she was like, well, yeah, that's right, but that's a period. And she said, you know what a period is? And he was like, yeah, that means it's the end. And she was like, okay, good. Then she showed him a question mark. And she was like, Carter, you know what that is? And he was like, yeah, that's a question mark. And she was like, oh, well, what does that mean? What does that do? And he said, well, a question mark, it means that it's a secret. And I was like, huh. And then she was like, well, no, that's question mark means that it's a question. Somebody's asking somebody something. But I was talking to my wife about it afterwards. I was like, I think that's his thinking. His thinking was being associated with his video games. Because any of y'all that play video games, not Madden, because Madden don't have any question mark. Well, maybe they do. But yeah, they actually do. Because I know in Madden, when you're going through scouting, when you're scouting these college players and you're trying to get their stats and stuff, I believe they have question marks over their stats before you unlock them. But what Carter did, when he said the question mark means that it's a secret, I think that he was affiliating and associating that with video games. Like, for Crash Bandicoot, because we just started playing the new one recently. On there, the question mark is like a secret bonus level. Yeah, you don't know when you put Crash Bandicoot on that question mark, you don't know where it's going. So you hop on there, and then it takes you to this bonus level. In Mario, which Carter loves Mario, the question marks are in those boxes. You don't know what's in the boxes, but when you jump under them and hit them, then something that it comes out. It's like a surprise almost. So I think when he saw the question mark, I think he associated it with the question mark that he sees in video games. And I was really proud of him for that. I was like, okay, Carter, all right. And then she also asked him what an exclamation point is, and he said it looks like a baseball bat. So that one was funny, man. But he's doing good. He's doing really good. His reading is gotten a lot better. It's crazy to see the progress, how it started. I remember when we first really started going over reading with him, and I gotta credit my wife, because she's the one that started the foundation. Because when I was still working a regular job, when she was at home with him, she started going over the letters and the phonics and the sounds and stuff like that. And then once I had when I started doing the YouTube full time, and then she started working, then I would go and like even in the stages in between then too, but I would start going over the stuff with him, and it's just crazy to see where it was at before and where it's at now. So it's just been a process, man. It's been a crazy process, and it's just weird. I remember talking with my mom, like before he was born. I remember talking with my mom. I remember talking with my wife. I'm like, man, like, because I knew a lot of people that had kids. Like a lot of my friends, they got kids. obviously everybody knows somebody with kids. But I was thinking like, man, and I know like not every kid is in the best situation and whatnot, but I've seen a lot of kids that who haven't been in so good situations. I've seen them come out strong. But still, I was just worried. I was like, man, because I felt like this heavy weight, sort of this heavy weight on me or on us. And I was thinking like, man, like we're gonna be responsible for teaching this human, like for teaching this child who will come into the world not knowing anything. We're gonna be responsible for teaching them how to speak. Like they come in with a clean slate. They don't know any words, nothing. They don't know anything. They of course have the instinct like to eat, pee, poop, all that stuff, but they don't know anything. And I was like, man, like how are we gonna get him to learn how to speak? How are we gonna teach him words? Like I was a little bit worried about that, and I talked to my mom about it. She was like, it'll be fine. She's like, it'll come. And I was just thinking about that. I'm like, man, like that, because that's something that I used to think about before he was born. When my wife was pregnant, but before he was born, I used to think about that. Like, man, but just thinking about that at the entire process, man, it's crazy. It is really crazy how everything just came full circle. And like the dude, he obviously talking. He talked too much sometimes, but nah, he obviously talking and reading that, and that was a huge like milestone too. Just seeing him like to have a kid and where they learn how to talk, then they start talking, but then for a child that you've literally watched his entire life, to see them go from talking to actually being able to look at a paper or words and letters on a screen or on a paper or on TV, on whatever, and be able to say what those words are and like put them together. And oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy, man. It's like the craziest thing. But it makes you appreciate the process, and it just makes you appreciate them that much more too. So yeah, I'm really grateful for Carter. Carter is definitely he's a good kid. He's a good kid. Sometimes he gets a little bit annoying, but he's a good kid, man. Carter's cool, and I love that Carter's he's down with us, man. He is down with us. Me and my wife was just talking about it yesterday because we know one of our friends who he sent his son, and he's older. His son is in high school, but he sent his son because someone to get the PS5, and he sent his son to Target alone. Or he let his son go to Target alone to get the PS5. And his son originally he wanted to go there and he wanted to take cash, and the dad was like, no, don't take cash there. I'll just give you my credit card. You can go get it. But I was talking with my wife about it, and she was like, well, she's like, that's cool enough. She was like, I'm glad that you and Carter, y'all like best friends. Because and I was telling her, yeah, I would probably end up going to go get the PS5 for Carter if we were in that situation. I mean, I can't even get it for myself. So, but if we were able to have gotten it, I would have went to go get it for Carter. But the dad just said he gave his son his credit card and told his son to just go get it. But with Carter, like my wife was saying that y'all probably would have went together. Cause Carter likes, he's so cool that's just my little buddy, man. That's our little buddy. Cause we do a lot of stuff together. We spend a lot of time together, which I appreciate, and I'm grateful that we are even in the position to spend a lot of time together. So that's something that we definitely take advantage of, man. We just chill together, man. We chill together, the three of us. And it's the best, man. Straight up, because Carter, he rides out with us. Whatever we doing, even if we like planning something, like our anniversary was on November 3rd. Can't really do much given the situation in the world. But anything that we were planning, like Carter will be right there too, cause that's our boy, man. Cause Carter he's cool, man. So shout out to him. But yeah, like I said, he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. Just becoming a very well-rounded kid, and I appreciate that. So yeah, so that's the family. With me, nothing new. The channel it's been doing pretty good. It's been very, very busy. As y'all know, with the questions from subscribers, they have I can't do them all, so I got to pick from the best of the best. And yeah, like right now we have 242 emails. So yeah, that's fun. But no, it's all good. I just love how people have been so patient. I haven't been seeing anybody complaining, why you haven't done my question? Why you do my question? Why you do my question? None of that. Like, and I appreciate that, because I'm just grateful for where the channel is, and just like, I don't want to say community, but I mean, if I guess that's the word to use. I'm just grateful for what type of community it is on the channel, and just what Team Keep It Clean is, because a lot has just changed over the years. Like, I like how like before, like I know, like maybe like 2 years ago, like I used to get like a couple of comments on videos. They say, oh man, the videos is too long, man, it's too long, why you gotta make it so long? But now I don't get any of those, like, at all. None. And I think it's because, and this is why I always tell people, man, when they are trying to when they're thinking about starting their own channel or whatever, podcast, blah blah, whatever it may be, I tell them, do things how you want to do them. You can't do it like anybody else wants you to do it, because you'll never be happy. Because if you spend your whole time, I gotta please this person, I gotta please that person, I gotta please this person, I gotta please this person, you're gonna be so stuck on pleasing them that you will never be happy with what you're doing. You're gonna be busy trying to make somebody else happy, and that's never gonna work, ever. It's never gonna work. But nobody says that anymore, because they realize that we have a lot of fun doing what we do, and we could talk forever on some stuff, especially depending on the topic. Y'all already know. Y'all done been in the streams before, the live streams. Y'all done seen plenty of the videos where we talking about this and talking about that. But it's fun. I enjoy it. I seriously enjoy what we do, and I appreciate the opportunity to even be able to do it. So I appreciate you guys' support. And it's just and with the question from subscribers, with how there hasn't been anybody like complaining, oh, why you don't do my question? Oh man, you used to say that you did all the questions that we sent. Now you can't do them all. I haven't got one comment like that. Not one. Not one person has said that. And I appreciate that so much, because it shows that people, they understand. Because it's, like I said before, it's been a good problem to have, like I said, because it's been a lot of growth. It's been a lot of growth on the channel. So with the growth, like before, we would do questions from subscribers with like maybe 2,000 subs, 3,000. I forgot exactly when we started it, but now we at like 30. We're at 33. Wow, that's kind of crazy, man. We had 33,000 subscribers, I think. Let me check real quick. Yeah, 33,000, 33.4. So 33,000 subscribers, 33,400 subscribers. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But that's where we're at right now, and it's been great, man. Things are rolling right now, and I appreciate y'all for like I said, just supporting. But people understand that with the growth, which has been is a great thing, there's also gonna be more people sending questions. So people just get it, man. And that's why I say with Team Keep It Clean, people just get it. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's like, oh man. No, they are with it, man. They with it, and they get it. So I appreciate y'all for being with it. I appreciate y'all for getting it, and I just appreciate y'all, like, straight up. I really do. So thank you for that. Thank you for being patient, not only on the YouTube channel, but on with the podcast, because I know it's been a while. And like a lot of times with the podcast, I have the most fun with the podcast, not even talking football. Cause like sometimes I'll need a break from football. It usually happens on Sundays. Usually Sunday evenings. Like if the Ravens play at like 1, and then whatever other games come on, I might check in for them or whatever. But usually Sunday night, I am like, oh man, I don't even want to see no football. Like I'd be done with it. So, well, depending on the game too. If it's not a game that I'm really interested in, then I'd be like, nope, I don't even want to watch it. But it's all good, man. So, anyway, team, keep it clean. Thank you. Any other life updates with me? Nah, I don't think so. Hopefully we get the podcast back going again, and just the consistency factor, because that's a big thing. Is a consistency. So I did say once a week. I know I missed last week. I talked to my guy Oscar. He was like, "Hey, what's up with the podcast?" He was like, "Oh, I guess one of the weeks that I missed." He was like, "Oh, I guess you missed the podcast for this week." And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess you're right." But it's it's all good, man. It's all good. We're gonna have some more guests on here once I get some stuff settled down, whenever that'll be. Oh man, imagine a podcast during the summer. That'll be something right there. I'm thinking like way ahead of time, but yeah, still, imagine a podcast during the summer. That should be a lot of fun. But anyway, team, keep it clean. Thank you for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. If you're listening to this on the way to work, on the way home from work, you may be at the house just chilling. You may have it on in the background while you're playing games or something, or cleaning up, or whatever you're doing. You may be listening to it in school. Hopefully you're getting your schoolwork done. But I do seriously appreciate everybody. I really do. And I thank you for being willing to take time out of your day to listen to stuff that we have to say. Whether it's about football or not. I mean, this really didn't have anything to do with football, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I appreciate y'all. Just thank you. Thank you so much for genuinely supporting. It makes such a big difference, and it means everything. So I hope y'all are having a really, really good day. And one last thing, anybody that's ever sent me a message, a DM on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on anything, please. I remember when YouTube used to have messaging too, but they took it off a long time ago. But please, please, please do not feel like I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. I just things get so busy, and I'm so far behind on all my messages. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. But so team, keep it clean. I love y'all. Thank you so much. We are out.
And you know just what I mean. You too, team, keep it clean.